gone on a little bit longer than we thought it would. So
that text was from his wife asking,
yes.
"Where are you,
man?
Where are you?"
You wonder. I wonder if he's having second thoughts. Didn't seem he was ready to jump back on.
Oh yeah.
To the, you could tell
he wants to keep talking.
Yeah, Michael Jaafar. If you were representing him in this limited role, which they've worked out, would you be trying to dissuade him from getting back up there today? Because, or no, you're shaking your head. Your thoughts?
No. Yeah, no, this case is already lost. I would let him just let it hang out, right? Because it's done. Tellis didn't even have an attorney until the trial, right? And you can see why. His previous attorneys, we were not in the room, were probably taking advice from you earlier today. They probably had a time machine. They jumped forward, they watched this broadcast, and then they jumped back in time, and they told them what you just said, which is, dude, you got to focus on legacy at this point. Let's take a plea, let's take a deal, and then have an allocution and agree to this, because it's beyond, it's beyond reproach, right? The tragedy of this, Ted, is that look at everything that Tellis lost and had other people lose. If you just follow the money for a second, he had it all. He had a family, he had kids, he was healthy, his kids were healthy, he'd passed the bar, he was a lawyer, and he was a public official. And people in my profession know, if you're a lawyer and then you become the public administrator elected, even if you lose re-election, there's any number of law firms and opportunities that'll snatch you up and pay you a bunch of money, and you'll travel the world and you'll live the life that only people dream of living, right? But what did he do? He obviously had a hole in his soul, and that hole in his soul caused him to murder a person in the way that he murdered him, and literally laid breadcrumbs for everybody to follow him, and he did not even destroy the evidence against him. Why do I say that in relation to your question? Because that means he has to take the stand. That's just the type of person, that's the avatar of a Robert Tellis. It's a person who has it all, but is committed to destroying it all. And this testimony is the final piece in him destroying everything. And so if I was his attorney, I would know that. Again, these people are not unfamiliar to me or anyone who's ever done defense work. They're not unfamiliar. They're very, very, very familiar. I can't tell you how many defendants that we don't see on TV that even I've represented who said, there's a videotape evidence of me stealing this thing, but I want to take the stand and tell them I'm not a professional thief. Why would they think I'm a professional thief? Well, you're not being charged with being a professional thief. You're being charged with stealing this thing. Yeah, but I'm not a professional thief. I'm going to take the stand. If you don't like it, I'll find another attorney, right? So like, people like Robert Tellis always do the same thing. They have it all, but they destroy it all. So he has to just destroy it in his own way. He has to continue destroying his case and destroying his legacy. He's committed to do that. He doesn't think he's doing that, or maybe he does. But that's why I say he has to take the stand. That's why Draskevich, in that interview, before they put on their defense, he said, we were only hired for the trial, and Robert Tellis has been consistent since day one. He wants to tell his story. That was a way of Draskevich telling future clients, hey, if I defend you, I'm not going to let you embarrass yourself unless you want to embarrass yourself. I had a client who wanted to embarrass himself. I'm not going to tell you his name, but if he listened to me, he wouldn't have done that. So yeah, he has to take the stand. He's completely committed to taking the stand, and for all we know, he's going to cry on the stand, but he's got to do it.